Hi guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and me and Dr. Pink are here to heal your guitar issues, and in this case, specifically when you're having your very first guitar lesson, you want to learn guitar, and you're just entering the room and having your first guitar lesson, and is the content which you get teach in the very first guitar lesson, at least when you follow my method. What is the difference between my method and many other methods? Well, my focus is, in fact, that students are able to make music from the very first beginning, because that's what it's all about. Because when you go through all this journey in guitar playing, learning guitar, if you're not into music, wherever you're standing, it doesn't really make sense. It's not joyful, and the joy and happiness which is created by creating music is what keeps you going, and that's the main thing which is needed to become a good player or to stay a good player. You have to be connected with music, and my focus is really on connecting with music from the very first beginning. And so the topic which we talk at the very first beginning is in fact also rhythm. You're going to see that. Now first, the requirements. I have a lot of customers which are shortly before their retirement, and they want to fulfill their dream of playing guitar now, and they think they're too old to get into music. The good news is you're never too old to start playing guitar. It's not a competition. You don't need to play fast. You just need to get into music and do what is inside of you. If you're a younger player or you're younger, there's no problem. Maybe when you're older, you probably will never reach high speed on the fretboard, but honestly, is that really needed? And that's a thing which can be talked later, but at the beginning, it doesn't really make such a big difference. Good. So now we are here in the first lesson. First topic we need to talk about is, do you want to play with finger picking or with a pick? Okay. If you want to play with finger picking, I skip this for now. But of course, that's the same thing. When you want to play with a pick, you need to select a pick. As a beginner, the bigger ones and the softer ones are more favorable. They somehow support when you're not so precise with their movements, and they allow you to make more mistakes in the movements, and the small ones are more, and the hard ones are more precise, but it's probably more for advanced players. My recommendation here is select yourself. Try a few of them. Try big ones, small ones, soft ones, hard ones, and pick the one which feels the most comfortable for you, and then stay with that one. Don't change too much. If you change too much, then this will really slow down your progress in adapting and connecting with the guitar. Good. Now, when you follow this course, the good news is you can pass the first big bump on the road. The first big bump is that you can play chords over the entire fretboard, be somehow precise with the rhythm, and also can do a little bit of soloing. That will be the first big bump, and that takes approximately 3 till 6 months or more. If you work with discipline, you can make it in 6 months. The main problem is the bar here. These chords here, where you're laying your finger down here, somewhere, anywhere on the fretboard. These ones here are called barring chords, and these are the big cliff you need to take. But and this requires a lot of repeating exercise, a lot of frustrating repetitions of the same things all over again. My job in this time is just to keep you happy and keep you going, and giving this all overgoing repetitions some kind of sense and some kind of joy, and to also start working on other things which also have to be focused on. So even what is happening here on the fretboard is in this phase not changing so much. We already try to make music and connect with music, and this will be of great benefit, and also it's way more fun, you know. Yeah, that's the good news. You can pass it in earliest in 6 months. The bad news is a lot of things will repeat, and we're just gonna going through this course, and I'm gonna give you more and more content that you just keep it going. And if you want to follow this journey which I'm doing here, just subscribe to my channel and just follow this playlist, or just join my website, and there you can also ask questions or get some additional support. That's all cool. Just start communicate with me if you have any issues which are coming up, but most things should be self-explaining. All right, now we found out we take a pick in the hand, right angle to the thumb, and we start to play music. And to make it more joyful, and we already now start to connect with music. I created a simple practice track here, this one here. The first thing you need to do, oopsie, the software had a hanger. So we start again. The first thing you need to do, just connect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You don't see my foot, but the foot is really crucial in the whole thing. 1, 2, and now you connect the foot with your picking hand. They're in sync. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Count loud. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most songs have a so-called measure of 4. 4 means 4 beats per measure. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the whole thing repeats again. If you have 2 measures of a specific thing you need to do, you call them chords, then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the 2 bars, you call them bars, are over. Now you need to read what's coming next. In this case, another chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's do that now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the focus on the very first steps is not so much what you're doing here, because that comes second. First thing is that you connect with the music. You count and start counting, start feeling the connection of your foot. You can do with one foot, with the left or right, you can both, 1, 2, whatever is comfortable for you is okay? So, and connect it with your arm, which is picking here. So 1, 2, 3. Can also be a smaller movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as a first exercise, you count, and on the 1 you play the thick string here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you train your system to have your foot moving, to have everything moving, and then to attack the string at that moment, which is supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now we want to try to switch the strings. So we're first playing the lowest. Most students are the highest at this. The thickest string, the E string, and then the A string is the second thickest string. So 2 bars, we play the E string, and 2 bars the A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2. You don't even need to grab something here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Back to the E. 1, 2. So this goes all in a loop with E and A. Now we play this with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Back to E. 2, 3, 4. 1 to A. Okay. And now we were playing. These are called whole notes. It really also makes sense that you learn basic rhythm notation. I have a course in my online academy, which you can download. Check it out there for premium members if you want to read about rhythm notation, but you can also do it without. Just understand you have notes which have a duration of 4 beats. You have notes that's called whole notes. You have notes with a duration of 2 beats called half notes. You have notes with a duration of 1 beat called quarter notes, and then you have notes with a duration of 2 notes per beat. So these are called 8 notes. How do they sound? First I'm going to play whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a whole note. Now half notes. 1, 2. I switched to the chord. Okay, I'm going to follow the chords here. Just with full and half notes. 1, 2, 3, full note. 2. 4 beats per note. Now 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So till now it was really simple because, as I already said, you connect your foot with your arm here. This all so-called a downstroke, okay? All when you count, all numbers are downstrokes. Now there's something in between when the foot comes up or the hand comes up. 1, 2, this here. This is called the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And these ones, notes which come on the end, are upstrokes. Why? Because this is connected. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So these are upstrokes. Now that's now a task that you have your foot going on, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now a first exercise would be to switch between the E string and the A string, counting, having your foot sync with the music, counting, and then play first full notes, then half notes. Half notes have a duration of 2 beats, so you play 1, 2 is the first half note, 3, 4 is the second one. Quarter notes you play all numbers, and these are all downstrokes, and 8 notes are 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and these one are down and upstroke. Okay, let's see together. And now comes the biggest problem. Now we have this easy song with switching chords, 2 bars E, 2 bars A. So it's switching between the E string and the A string. So you have so many things going on now. Now which one has first priority? The foot. Foot connects with the music. Second one, the arm connects with the foot. Third, counting. So you need to first sync with the music, sync with the upper part of the body, then count to know where you are. And next thing is knowing which chord is played. We have two chords. We have E and A. I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now comes A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. E again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This thing repeats all the time. You have so-called 2 bars of E, 2 bars of A. Then repeats again. Sync with the music with the foot, connect with the arm, start counting, and then starting knowing how many bars you already played and knowing which of the 2 chords is currently played. That's a whole lot of things you need to know, and that's what makes guitar playing or music playing music such a hard task, because it's not just pressing it and doing something here. It's a whole thing. Your whole system needs to connect with music, get into music, and that's the way you start playing music. And I mean, once you can do that, you can play any song. I mean, if you're good here on the fretboard, you can play more complex stuff, but if you're still a beginner, you just play what you can play, but you're always with the music. The goal is to always be with the music and not to play complex stuff. If you can play complex stuff once you're an intermediate player or an advanced player, be my guest, that's no problem. But you're a beginner and you're just starting, but you already want to play music, and that's how it's done. Okay? So now let's quickly switch to the close view. Now we're going through the exercises here, which have to be done as a first step. Now let's see from the close view what is done exactly on the fretboard and with the picking hand. The first exercise is just to play the low E string, the thickest one here, and the low A string in timing with the track, and doing a section, an exercise with whole notes. So 4 beats per note, half notes, 2 beats per note, quarter notes, one tone per note, and 8 notes. That would be 2 per beat. So let's do this now. And when we play 8 notes, the ends have to be upstroke, but step by step. Let's first do the whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 to the A string, back to the E string. 3, 4, E. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You don't need to grab something here at the moment. Okay. Now we do the half notes. 2 beats per note. 1, 2. Let's do. Now we start again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do quarter notes. So 1 note per beat. 1, and the foot is always moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now comes the hardest. 8 notes. 1 and 2. So we have the upstroke as well. 1 and 2 and okay. Let's start here. Now we start 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Okay, with this exercise you get to know the basic rhythm figures. Whole note, half note, quarter note, 8 notes. That's enough for a long time now, okay? So now you know them, you play them, and you sync them with your foot. Now we did not really do much with the left hand. We're going to change this. Now we're going to grab our first chord, E minor. Here, press with the middle finger on the second fret of the A string, with the ring finger second fret of the D string. The D string is the third one from top, okay? And now you just go through all strings, okay? And the second chord, this is called an E minor. The second chord, you just move the fingers down one string, and this is called A sus2, but the name is not really important, because what we are doing, we're just trying to grab a chord and keep it as simple as possible, and then you practice. Now you change the chord and back. You switch from here to back, okay? Now we're doing the same thing again as before. So we're adding the additional element. We, instead of just attacking one string and keeping the focus on the rhythm, on the beat, now we're pressing something here. Now it gets harder, because it's something additional. You know, I always compare this with the RAM storage of a computer. This might overflow your RAM system, and then the whole thing breaks apart, you know. But you need to train your system that you can do all these things at the same time. And it's not only just pressing here and doing something, it's connecting with the music, counting, knowing what you play, and doing the whole thing. So now if you do the whole thing now with whole notes, so that will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now we change the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, back. You always switch, always 2 bars each chord, with whole notes, with half notes and quarter notes. Let's do half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now we do quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Looks quite simple. Now you might run into a problem here, that you don't have enough time to switch the chord while you're playing this. And there's a trick, that the last stroke in the last bar before you change is an empty one. So you make 1, 2, 3, and now empty, remove the chord, but you still strike in the beat you had, and then this gives you more time to build up the next chord. So 1, 2, 3, empty, 1, 2, back. Okay? Let's do this now with 2 bars. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, and the last stroke would be the open one. Okay? Now, if you want to do this with 8 notes, the last stroke would be the 4 and. So you have 1. First, let's check out the technique, the strumming technique with 8 notes, because now we have also upstrokes. And now you do this movement like a brush, a little bit down like this and up like I exaggerate the movement a bit. Okay, so 1 and 2. If you play soft picks, you don't have to do this exaggerated movement. With hard picks, you have to. Now here comes a trick. Now you do the empty chord on the last upstrokes on the 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 it before you change chords. In other cases, if you keep the chord, you don't do that. Now let's do the whole thing now with the backing track, doing full note, half note, quarter note, and 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Change over the last. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 notes. 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And so on. This looks way easier than it is. As I said, there's so many different things going on which you need to coordinate. And as I said, the row of the priorities is always foot first, sync with the picking hand, counting, knowing where you are, and then grabbing the right stuff and playing the right notes. That's the row of priorities. Most players think this is what has to be first, but if you want to connect with music, the foot is first, then the picking hand, as I said. Okay? We slowly come to the final notes of this first guitar lesson ever. That will be the first lesson when you enter my room here. If you're a complete beginner, if you never played before, that's what is done with every student first lesson. Okay? Now here comes the thing. If you learn the system like this, you will always stay into music, and if you can already play and count and understand what bars are, what the counting is, how the chords move in the whole chord progression, then you will be always able to play, even if you just play little things, And if you fall out, you don't remember what to grab, your system still knows where you are, and then you can jump in again, And that's the main thing which has to be trained at the very beginning. Beside, of course, grabbing these things, grabbing chords and doing all this stuff on the fretboard takes time. You cannot speed it up. And I'm gonna do the exercises, the next exercise which coming now to train what you're doing here on the fretboard as well. But this thing we are talking about today is the first thing you need to work on. If you cannot do that, then it has no sense to learn more chords, because you cannot connect it with music, That's what I said with the row of priorities. What is first, then comes this, then comes this. And as you notice, grabbing stuff here was, I think, the fourth priority. Okay? And that's what I really want to teach here, to understand that. Of course, you need to know what to grab here, and you want to do a lot of stuff. But if the first three parts are not working, whatever you do here makes no sense. And also, the picking is also an essential part. Take your time on this. Practice regularly. Make yourself a management of your time for a week. How much time can I practice per week? Divide it into 7 and do that on a daily basis. It's better to practice 5 minutes per day than 1 hour on Sunday. Okay? And in the beginning phase, the regularity is the key to everything. I've seen many students who really wanted to do it, but they didn't practice regular and with discipline, and didn't pay attention to the main part of this, and this slowed them down. I've seen students that they were on the basic chords, which were coming as next lesson, 7, 8, 9 years, because they didn't practice, you know. But you can do it in 3 months, you know. If you don't practice, it can take 10 years, and it still doesn't work, you know. But if you do it regular, it can work very fast. That's really my strongly recommendation for everybody who wants to learn guitar. Do it in a regular manner. Connect with music, because the joy and the enthusiasm from music will keep you going through this whole process. If you think, I will start making music when I can do that, when I can do that, when I can do that. If you go into that thinking, that will lead to waiting for the perfect moment, which will never come. I can tell I'm playing guitar my whole life, and the perfect moment came maybe in a moment where I didn't expect it, but then the next day was a bad day where I played bad, because I thought, oh wow, well, now I made it, and now I don't need to do anything anymore. It's waiting for the perfect moment to do things will not work, but connecting with music, enjoying what you're doing on whatever level you are, that will keep you going, and that will lead you to success and to joy. And joy is the success, and not to play fast. If you can play fast one day, do it. You can do exercise to play fast, do it, but enjoy the ride. My teacher didn't tell me that, and I didn't enjoy the ride in the first years, and it could have been cool. I had a lot of fun performances with whatever bands, but I always felt so bad, because I was always waiting for the perfect moment instead of just enjoying what I was doing just at that moment. And that day where I switched my perception from that to this, connect with music, then suddenly creativity started flowing, you know. And that's why my teaching system is really focused on this, because it's my personal experience with my playing, but also with the many I've taught thousands of students with my online activities, and that's the way to the qualm of guitar playing. Good. So this was the first lesson here. There will be more lessons to come. If you want to follow them, if you want to continue, when the next one comes, please join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. There you can also download this track, which I created for you guys. And I've written what I was talking about as tabs and as music notation. And it makes sense to learn tabs and rhythm notation and all that stuff, at least the basics, because then that's the language which we are talking about here. And it's hard to explain things if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know. So really download that stuff. There's also a theory file there to, if you want to dig deeper and want to really know that stuff, it's also available there. You can download there too. But you can follow the course, of course, without these files if you want. It's no problem. Then just subscribe to my channel and tell all your friends which are also learning guitar. That's here. You want to join with me, you know, together it's cooler, because you know you can share the pain you have, the pain of your fingers which you will get when you play guitar, you know, and all this stuff. So and also the disappointments you have and the struggles, you can share that with your friends and build a little community. So good. That's for the moment all for this lesson here. Next one will come. Just stay tuned and watch when it comes up next. Bye.